So almost the whole year has passed since I was tagged in this 5-item challenge, as I'm calling it. I want to say a big thank you to Paul Outdoors and Gillian Smith for tagging me all that time ago. I could sit here and give you some excuses as to why I've not done the video already, but here I am doing it now. If you're not familiar with Paul and Gillian's channels, I'll put links below in the description box. Please go and check them out. They are people I think of as friends on this YouTube community, along with many others. So I've thought quite hard about the 5 items I'm going to share with you. I'm not going to show you my first aid kit or the head torch, which most people do. And historically, I remember this challenge being about bushcrafters and wild camping people, but I'm not currently a wild camper and I'm not really a woodland skills bushcrafting person. So I'm going to share with you 5 items that I carry with me on a day hike or backpacking trip, basically. And they go with me everywhere. So the pack I'm using, I bought this about just over a year ago. It's the Low Alpine Air Zone Trek Plus 35 to 45 litre. I might try and do a separate video soon showing you this pack in more detail, more like a review and what I pack in it generally for walks I do. The reason I bought this is because I'm looking for a 35 litre pack, because I was finding my 28 litre pack to be a bit small for day walking when I'm leading a walking group and carrying a spare kit and stuff. So this one's got loads of room for what I need, and yeah, I might show you it another time. But the first item today lives inside the main compartment under here. This will be item number 1. So quite simply, it's a small torch. This one cost me £5 in Go Outdoors. The idea is that when you're in a kind of low light situation, trying to find something in your rucksack, you can use this torch to make the job so much easier. Also, you could use it for looking around inside your tent without using a big powerful head torch or a lantern, or you could use it in an emergency situation to signal for SOS or to alert someone to your presence. It doesn't cost very much, it's very lightweight, it can go anywhere. I just hang mine on this loop here, which is for the hydration bladder, and yeah, for me it's a really worthwhile investment. Again, not very expensive, not very big. It was recommended to me by a mountain leader during a navigation course in November 2017. So that's my first item for you. The second one is also inside this main compartment. Inside this mesh bag here we have what's known as hot hands. These are essentially disposable packs you can activate, and they will generate about 30 minutes worth of heat to keep your hands warm or your feet. They can go inside your gloves or your socks basically. I've never actually used these, but each time I go to a mountain warehouse or somewhere, the guy tends to give them to me for free when I'm buying something, which is quite nice. And I've got a small collection here that I just hold on to. This is mainly something I would carry for leading a group, especially in the winter time, because while I carry my own gloves and a few spares, there's every chance that someone in the group will be less prepared and they might get cold, and this could be maybe not a lifesaver, but it's something that could help them out a lot and help them to enjoy and survive the walk a bit better. Now we go into the lower compartment of this pack, and I generally keep my emergency stuff in here, so the waterproof trousers, they're not really emergency. I've got a body bag and a cheap foil blanket, my storm shelter, but I want to show you this. It's not duct tape, it's Gorilla Tape. Very similar to duct tape, it's much stronger in my experience. It's also much better at being waterproof and withstanding harsh environments. I never actually use this outdoors, it's something I carry with me just in case. I have quite often come across walking boots that have been discarded on the mountains and the soles hanging off and that sort of thing. I just wonder if that happens to me sometime, I can ideally wrap my boots in this tape and just make sure I get back to my car with 2 feet on my soles basically. So I don't often carry this roll as it is. This is not a complete roll, by the way. I've used it on DIY projects. That's why it's a bit smaller. What I tend to do instead is I have my walking poles with probably 2 meters worth of tape on each one. This has been here now since last summer. As you can see, it's still very tacky, which goes with what I was saying earlier about it being waterproof and durable. So if I was out and backpacking somewhere and I had maybe a hole in my sleeping mat even, I could potentially just patch it up to get through the night really without suffering a deflation and loss of comfort and sleep. So again, this is a fairly lightweight option for carrying tape right around your poles, and yeah, so far it's working absolutely fine for me. And I think you can buy stuff like tenacious tape and that's fine, but you can buy Gorilla Tape in anywhere like Aldi or any DIY store. It's just really easy to find, and it's good stuff from my view. Item number 4 tends to live on my shoulder strap here. There's a small carabiner, and on the end of this I have an M8 washer, which would be a 5/16 inch washer in imperial measurements. This serves 2 purposes. The first one is for fine adjustment of my walking poles, because these Lecky poles have a quick lock system, which you can fine adjust with a screw here, but you need the flat screwdriver to get in there. This washer is ideal for that. Secondly, I quite often use my mini tripod for filming and that sort of thing. The plate comes off here, screws onto the camera, but there's, you can see that's a screw here with a slot in it. It needs like a tool to tighten it, and this washer fits in there perfectly. And that's just, again, really lightweight, really easy to carry anywhere, very convenient for me. My 5th and final item generally lives under the zip pocket underneath the hood. So I've got a plastic wallet here with my ICE card in case of emergency. You can buy these for about £5 each online. They'll be waterproof and that sort of thing. This one came from the Ramblers website. I downloaded it and printed it off. I got my name on there, my current address, which might change soon, my phone number, date of birth, and any medical details. On the reverse of that, which you can't see because of the notebook I've got in there, I've got emergency contact details of 2 names with their names, addresses and numbers. It's just a really, really useful thing to have if you're going to do a lot of hiking on your own particularly. So if I was in a situation where I found myself, or someone found me unconscious or unwell and I couldn't get myself to safety, they could open the pack up, find this quite easily. It's near the top of the pack. They can see, right, that's his name, that's where he lives. I can call the emergency services and we can get him some help. And yeah, if you're walking or traveling on your own, I highly recommend you carry something like this, because although you might have a phone with you, some phones have certain access requirements. You might have like a keypad you have to enter. It might not be like a thumb swipe. Somebody might nick your wallet if you've got money in it. The battery on your phone might die, but a piece of paper is generally, I think it's generally more reliable in this situation. So I'd strongly recommend carrying something like this so someone can find out who you are quickly. And so those are my 5 items for this video. Thanks for watching. I would now like to tag 3 people to follow on with this challenge, and they are going to be Mark, Wye Explorer. Secondly, I have Jim, Holden, and the third person, well, people, it's going to be James and Kirsteen from Wasdale Man. I would like to see 5 items that all of you guys carry with you on a hike or a wild camp or whatever you choose. I'm sure we've all got something interesting and different you can share with us. So thanks again for watching and supporting this video and my channel. I'll see you again soon on the hike.